Welcome to another DS9 commentary. DS9 stands for Deep Space Nine, Star Trek Deep Space Nine. I am joined again by Major Starfleet Boy.
Major Starfleet Boy. I'm gonna be very angry and mad about the provisional government this episode.
And this is episode 3, past Prologue. Now on Netflix it's listed as 4. Because the next episode was filmed before this, so this is not production order. We're not doing the production order like they do on Netflix apparently.
We're doing release date order.
Yeah. All right. So let me just queue up my copy, and you have yours queued up.
I do, and I'm ready to go.
All right. In 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, go.
Nice. You probably heard my mouse click. Look, it looks just like your picture. Oh my gosh. That's amazing.
This is our introduction to Garrick.
Oh, that's right. This is a meme now.
Bashir.
Of course it is. Gaddick. It's interesting how their makeup's going to evolve in later seasons too.
Well, Garrick's
Like
makeup stays the same.
I feel like it gets smoother. I know something Trek on the Tube likes to say, they made it smoother.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I feel like it, but I don't know. Like, there looks like maybe on the temples, those little veiny things go away, but I don't know. We can easily find out after this recording.
How do I sound?
You sound great. How do I
Okay.
sound?
You sound good.
Okay.
Not great, but good. No, I'm joking.
Oh, okay. I can work on that.
No. Now, they all think he's a spy.
Right.
You don't say. The way he plays this is just
So good. I wouldn't know, sir. Garrick is like so great just from the start, and it's amazing what this is the start of, and that they start it right away. You know what I mean? Like, it's cool that they like began this like relationship pretty much from the start.
yeah. Garrick.
Now,
Now, watch what? No, pay attention to what's about to happen here.
Okay.
Now, tell me that if that's not a come on, I don't know what is.
It's flirtatious and also intimidating, which is like something that wouldn't happen today. It's locked in its time.
Look at how excited Bashir is now. He's like, I got a chubby because a Cardassian spy touched me. And he was charming and scary. I like that.
It's known now because of the DS9 documentary that they wish they had made it more than just an implication that they.
I don't even think it's subtle. I think it's their way of like saying he likes him right from the beginning.
He is very excited
without actually coming out and saying, "I am,
gay
gay
or
Cardassian,
bi or straight, whatever, fluid."
Yeah.
That's what I've always liked this. I do enjoy. I'm glad that like there are variations of like everything, but I always thought I always thought that Star Trek could get away with a lot because by not mentioning things, because you just assume future people are more enlightened. But it's good to see representation. You know what I mean? Like, it's actually good to hear it and see it like in the newer shows for those of us who like that stuff. Let's just go forceful.
This is Vaughn Armstrong as the Cardassian you're about to see. He played Admiral Forrest in Star Trek Enterprise.
Yeah, and he plays
He's not here yet, obviously, but you'll see him in a second. Oh wait, maybe he's not in this scene. Maybe he's in a later scene. I just remember him being like a decent Cardassian. You know, I've got a good feeling about this guy. I don't think he's shady at all.
My name is Tanalos. That's a cool name.
Now this episode, you know, deals with the whole Bajoran Cardassian conflict, and you know, some I guess some Bajorans are still out inciting violence out of anger for what happened. When, like, you know, someone like Kira's like, you know, you don't need to do this anymore. It's done. We got our home planet back, but there's still those Bajorans out there who just still very angry. They haven't gotten over it. Dun 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 dun.
It's like the New York or Jersey Shore version.
It's
amazing to think of how huge this station is.
Yeah, it's pretty big.
I don't think it's exactly reflected in this standard definition, but I bet when they upgrade it to HD, you'll feel more of the scale.
Yeah.
In fact, I know, because I think they show some shots of the station in the documentary, the DS9 documentary. Did you participate in that, PJ? Did you get?
I supported it by seeing it in the theater.
Nice.
But I did donate something to the Voyager thing.
Oh, right on.
So my name's gonna be somewhere in there. I didn't submit my picture for the mural because I figured it's a mural of so many pictures. I wouldn't be seen anyway. So
I accidentally for the DS9 doc, I accidentally clicked a fake link, like someone who was trying to take advantage, and donated to that, and then it was too late when I realized.
There he is, Vaughn Armstrong.
Yep. I heard he's the actor that has had the most Star Trek appearances as different characters in different shows. He's a good Cardassian character. We have made no threat. I stand corrected.
I know Father listed off a bunch of roles he played.
Yeah. That's who told me, Fathery. It was on the air or something we were doing.
He played Captain Chorus in Heart of Glory, Goldenar in Past Prologue this episode. Seskal in another episode of DS9, different character, When It Rains, The Dogs of War. He played Telek Remor in Voyager's Eye of the Needle. He played 2 of 9, one of the Borg survivors in Survival Instinct. He played Vidian Captain.
Look at that, man.
He played a Herosian, another Klingon, another Klingon, Maxwell Forrest, of course.
He has eight total roles, I think, right?
And a Kree Tassan from Enterprise. I don't know.
And Admiral Forrest, of course.
That's what I said. I mentioned that.
Yeah, I know.
I mentioned it.
I know you did. You're right.
I mentioned it 4 times. No, this is a good confrontation between the two of these guys.
Yeah.
I like this. This is pretty. I like how he like grabs her. He's like, "Come here, you," and she's like, "Listen here, I'm doing my job, and you're trying to take our jobs." Well, not really, but
Look at the knitted. That seems out of place for for six
it's got it's got little
nanotech, of
computer
course.
chips in it and stuff for temperature control.
Go a little lower, Dr. Bashir. No, I'm just kidding. It's like grandma made that quilt or that blanket. It's like it's so...
Well, I don't remember my grandmother putting microchips in her blankets. Major?
Oh my god, I am reading the subtitles and I
I
read I am the lesbian officer to the Federation. I'm in a mood.
okay. Sure, Starfleet Boy.
I am the lesbian officer.
You know, I was gonna say, are you in a lesbian mood or something? What is that?
I might
don't even
be.
understand. What kind of mood?
Because I'm awful.
I don't. I have a good feeling about this very honest man.
When was the last time you watched Deep Space Nine from start to finish?
The summer of 2018.
Oh, cool. That's not too long ago.
It's because I saw the What We Left Behind, and I said because I was going to rewatch it before, but I didn't have time. You know what I mean? I was going to be like in the middle of it by the time I got to see the movie or the documentary. So it's like I'll just wait. And man, after like the day I left the theater, I was like first episode. I just had to rewatch it again. I just loved it. The time before that was a long time.
Did you see that? She just went over Cisco's head. She's like a tattletale.
So I don't know how long it was. It must have been like 15 years or something.
Oh, wow.
It was I don't know. It was a lot of years before, the second last time I started,
Right.
So when I watched it in 2018, I'd forgotten a lot of smaller episodes, and some of it, not all of it, but some of it was like, wow, this is kind of like watching a new thing, because I completely can't remember this. It could be one of those. It could be one of those things where, when you watch a series in its entirety, you may realize you've actually missed one or two episodes, and you think you've seen every one, and it's like, oh wait, that happened to me with Enterprise when I rewatched Enterprise from start to finish. I was like, oh, there's a few here I didn't even know existed. With TNG, I've seen every single episode of that, every single episode of TOS.
The last time I watched
all
Deep
of them
Space
now at this
Nine
point.
from start to finish was when I binged it when I bought all 7 seasons on DVD, and I think it was around 2003 or 2004.
Okay.
But I've seen like lots of episodes. Well, I did that show Drunk Space Nine, so I made it to season 3 for that, but I was like wasted or hammered or whatever. But definitely, though, I've seen like maybe probably like over 50 episodes sporadically since like in the last 4 years.
The
Maybe
last
60
the
episodes.
last commentary we did, I was very buzzed, and you were very buzzed.
Yes.
And there's a different vibe here now because we're both soberish.
Ish. Yeah, I'm having a
Soberish.
martini as we speak. I mean, I could show you real quick. I'm going to show you on camera. It's dark because I like to watch in the dark, but yeah, there's a martini. So maybe by the end of the stream. Also, we had audience members who occasionally commented, Blue's such a talker.
Goldener.
This feels more like a podcast to me, PJ. With lots of silent moments. It's a very a Zen podcast.
It is.
He's great. You can hear his voice. I recognize the Admiral Forrest voice.
He has a great voice, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Um,
Oh, I was talking about how Kira
he's
went
right.
over.
It's crazy because he's right, and I think Cisco's approaching it very diplomatically. He's not.
Mm-hmm.
He's very careful not to blatantly choose sides. Because I think in his head he's like, certainly he's probably done those things. I mean, there's not been a great history between your species.
One of my surprises, like it really hits home when the Q episode comes along and he punches Q and he's like, Picard would never do that. And he goes, I'm not Picard. But one of the things that hit me was that, like, I thought, like, after Kirk and Picard, I'm like, what kind of character could they do? Like, how is this guy's personality going to be? Am I going to love it or not? You know what I mean? And I was really surprised at Cisco. He was like a force. Like his presence, like Avery Brooks has such a presence. Like he changes his, like when he's soft, he's so soft and luscious. He's almost like, oh, like that kind of thing, right? Yeah. But when he's hard, it's like, don't you dare fuck with me or I'll cut you, like that kind of thing.
He doesn't say I cut you.
No, he could say it though. That's the 90s me.
He does threaten violence. That's the thing about
he does Cisco. Threaten violence.
Cisco threatens death. And no other captain.
It's true.
I mean, maybe I can't really think of any examples of other ones right now, but it's like Cisco, and especially when they get into the later seasons, which we don't want to get too much into, but he makes some decisions that even you as a viewer don't know what to think of. His, like they're not clear cut, good guy, bad guy characters. They're simply characters. And the way they're written is that they're in a terrible situation and they need to make hard choices, and it's just that simple. Well, and other shows try to play it safe with those characters because they don't want the audience to see their characters as flawed or doing something morally objectionable.
I think Kirk and Cisco are closer than Cisco and Picard because Kirk definitely made some threats and wasn't afraid to destroy like a giant amoeba or something to save his crew. Whereas Picard always tried to find, like a way to not hurt anyone.
Now, this is a very kind of important conversation where she's the voice of reason. You can just see that, like just that you've adapted. He's being such a inconsiderate, obvious prick, and I was joking before when I said I trust. Obviously, I was being sarcastic because he's a shady dude, man.
He's a shady dude,
and I feel bad for Kira, who's like, she knows him, she gets where he's coming from, but he's knowingly using her and manipulating her, and he doesn't give a shit.
And she has like a loyalty to him because he's a hero, actually.
Yeah.
Like during the occupation, what he was doing was actually like, something that was very praised. He's like Krall, and sorry to bring in Star Trek Beyond, but it kind of reminds me of that, like someone who's not willing to let go of their previous purpose.
Oh,
like they're so attached.
I don't find that comparison valid at all.
All right, fine.
Alyssa and B'Etor, I love these.
Yes.
I love that they show up here.
I love the framing in this shot because boobs.
And you know what? What's wrong with that? What's wrong with the?
There's nothing.
I've heard like, I don't know where I heard it from. Maybe I just imagined it. Talking about like they would never do that. They would never do that Klingon thing with the breasts.
They would,
but Discovery just showed the nips and everything. What are you talking about?
Yeah. Also, it's not the problem. That's not the problem. Like, I'm all for like them as characters, like dressed like that. I think the problem is that unfortunately, at the time, it was intentionally done to like kind of exploit. Whereas now it's different. Like, I think the play is a little different these days. I think there's more buy-in from the performers. Like, you know what I mean? Whereas before, I think performers thought, I have to do this because I want to get this job or whatever, right? And like, so that attitude's starting to go away a little more, and it's not as lecherous as it used to be. And I think people are a little more like,
and it's like the issue with the short skirts from TOS. It's like they should not have done that. I was like, you know what?
But the
it was a
actors say
style at the
something
time.
different. Actually,
Exactly.
like they say it was, I forgot about
It
this,
was
and then
liberating.
someone reminded me, yeah, that it was actually liberating for them. They were like happy to. So it all depends. You have to take context into account. You know what I mean?
And that's the thing with I hope Strange New Worlds lets the cast have a combination of like uh, some male and female or non-binary wear skirts. Like, or they can choose to wear pants. Either one. Like when
It'd
you
be
see in
great.
you see in TNG, some of the
You have a
men wear
scant,
the
the
skants.
scant.
And
I would love it if they brought scants into Strange New Worlds. I think that would be a
and
good retcon, like a
and you
good
do have
update.
regulation uniforms that all have to basically look
Right.
the same, but some can have longer, shorter skirts. You know what I'm saying? Like
Do
it's
you,
a person's choice.
do you think they're gonna keep the collars, PJ, from Discovery, or do you think they're gonna go to a more TOS look with
They,
the collars?
I sincerely hope they get rid of the asymmetrical
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
collars. They don't work on a TOS uniform as seen in TOS. You can update those. Not the way Kelvin did. Kelvin
I'll
did an interesting job of updating those shirts, but you
yeah.
could. But the problem with the TOS or the uniforms in on the Enterprise in Discovery is that they look too constrictive and formal when the whole point in my mind of the TOS uniforms was that they weren't so concerned with formality that things had to be form fitting and you couldn't really sit down properly because it was so tight.
I think it was
It was more
important.
comfortable. They'll do allow the crew to function better. You
They
know
make it very clear that Starfleet was not military, and I think
exactly.
that's something that like is reflected in the casualness of the uniforms. So
And when Nicholas Meyer
formalized it.
formalized it, people were not everybody, I guess, but like there were a portion of people who were against that. And I know one certain YouTuber who I like who talks about Wrath of Khan is great, but he at the time when he was a kid seeing it in theaters, he hated the uniforms and that they looked too militaristic, and that wasn't what it was about. And I'm like, but you look back on it now, they're good looking uniforms, but you can tell, man, like some uniforms look like so constrictive, like you would never even want to put it on
I
yourself. But then you look at the Kelvin, you're like, I wouldn't mind wearing a shirt like that. That seems comfortable. Or the original TOS shirts, like McCoy's shirt. I loved his shirt, man. I would love to have like a metallic blue shirt like that.
I criticize the Discovery uniforms, but other than the collar, like they actually kind of fit into that spacesuit idea. Like that it doesn't look too militaristic. But yeah,
Still very constrictive though,
it is
form
still very
fitting.
constrictive.
And the
Yeah,
whole point of that is to just make it look good and sleek and not too many wrinkles or
right.
creases and whatnot.
But it didn't work. Look at the Next Generation. They ended up doing like looser versions because the actors would just get uncomfortable
Exactly
in them. Yeah.
the season 1 and 2 uniforms, which put strain on their backs, as Patrick Stewart pointed out, were designed to fit you in such a tight way that there were no visible kind of like separation of the top and the bottom. It was like a unitard thing. It was an attempt to look more futuristic than TOS,
Right.
but there's nothing wrong with creases and wrinkles in clothing. I don't understand that like clothing has to be perfectly form fitting in the future. I never bought into that.
Yeah.
Ooh, there's a
Did
Baitor.
Did we already have the scene where he yells at Kira? Not yet, right? I don't know if we missed it when we were
We
talking.
talked about it.
No,
We're,
the really good one where he's like, "The next time you go over my head." Remember,
I'm not
she called
sure.
the admiral.
We should probably start watching the episode. No,
Well, we've seen
no,
it enough times. I know what happens in this episode. I know it very well.
basically, they know he's dealing with the Lursa and Baitor. we were talking over the scene where Odo was spying on them, but yeah, I love seeing the Duras sisters. It's awesome.
Here they are trying to talk to Garrick. This was cool to see characters from TNG on Deep Space Nine also.
Yeah, I like that. I like his reaction. Like, when he's, Jesus, what are you doing?
By the way, this actor is Andrew Robinson, who's a genius actor. He was in Dirty Harry.
Oh yeah, I remember that. He was also.
We understand you still represent Cardassian interests.
You sound like a Ferengi.
I know.
That is a Galaxy-class starship. We are no match for them.
What is it worth to them? I kind of would love to see the Duras sisters on Picard, maybe next season or the season after. I don't know.
She spits on it.
Let us haggle. Oh, that's another meme. That's so funny. The jazz hands.
Jazz hands.
It's funny when you watch these and you see the memes. Poor Kira, man. She's like being manipulated by this guy.
What I hate. He's always saying like the stupid wrong thing to her, and he's always like, I'm judging you. I'm just judgy. You're helping me out, and I'm being a douche. I was gonna say
they should change his name to Tana Fuck.
Yeah, I was just gonna mention. Let's try to keep the language to. Let's
really?
try to keep it PG and.
Really?
No.
Oh, great! I'll hold you to
that.
No. Tit for tat, man.
And we can't discuss other things too much.
Okay.
And we can't talk about current news because that won't make any sense.
Yeah, it'll make it timely. It'll date it.
So
but there are sometimes.
So here in 2022, Starfleet Boy.
We're actually in 2027. We should make up stories like of what's going on.
Yeah.
Man, did you ever think Justin Timberlake would become president?
Did you ever think half the world would sink under the ocean? I did, because the warning signs were there for many decades.
Maybe this martini's.
This is a good conversation. I was going to say conversation. Confrontation.
Yeah. She's starting to wake up.
We accomplish everything both of us have ever wanted for Bajor. How? Huh. I know the game too, Kira. You know I cannot risk telling you that. How did you know I just won't go straight to Cisco?
Oh, you're doing both parts. Okay, fine.
Okay, you do Kira.
No, okay.
Oh, never mind. It's over now.
Won't we? Oh. Shocked face.
I'll be Garrick, you'll be the doctor.
Okay.
There's a time for levity, my young friend, and a time for genuine concern. The arrival on the station, for instance, of those two Conma terrorists. What are they
doing here?
There you go. I'm not exactly sure, but together we might have some success at finding out.
Garrick, I'm a doctor, not...
And once you do have the appropriate answer, I'm sure you will know what to do with it.
By the way, how clever is it that he was about to do I'm a doctor, not a something like that is pretty genius.
Yeah. Now, I like how, I don't know what it is about Julian. He seems like a kind of a mimbo.
He is.
Like he's incredibly intelligent, but like subtleties like
he is
kind
a
of
himbo.
go over his head.
For sure, he's a himbo. He's not getting it.
You know, in the back of his mind, he's like, "This guy just won't get off my thing, man."
There are things you're touching in this scene you can't tell.
Oh well, Garrick's is certainly extended. I know that.
A suit.
He's like,
Oh, did you hear the little doo 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 doo?
Yeah.
You know, one thing I'm noticing, I often say like the music in the older shows is just like background music, not in TOS, but in these TNG eras. But no, there's a lot of subtlety to the music now that I'm watching it with you and like paying attention.
Especially if you have headphones on.
Yeah, it's true. Headphones make a difference.
Because
How do
it
they
is not
seem to you?
remastered, but the sound is 5.1 Dolby, I believe, isn't it?
It sure is.
Maybe. I don't know. It sounds very stereo-like to me on my headphones. Like you can kind of hear one thing in one ear and one. And I love that. I love that thing when people move past a frame, and the sound changes.
Yeah.
Like that's great sound. I love that kind of sound design. A suit. See, Cisco knows
He
right
gets
off the
it.
bat. Like he knows, like obviously he wants you to be there for a reason.
He just said their way. That's cool. Did you see that?
He definitely used a new suit, man.
But he also used like a modern pronoun for Garrick. That was cool. Or I guess he was saying the other side. Never mind.
Yeah.
You're right. I get it. I got excited.
I like this scene, I think. It's like the first time she ever
Confides, kind of tries to confide
in him,
or
like it leans on him for emotional support, and he does help her.
This is epic that all of this
actually,
is in
no,
this
she was about to leave just then, so maybe. But this is, if I remember correctly, this is a really nice.
I like how she's framed
pretense.
with the door, by the way, with the like almost like wings coming out of there. You know, like rays or wings.
She's the Red Angel. That was prophesied.
Well, it wouldn't be a prophecy, but yes, this is very Red Angel here, and she's wearing red.
In the beginning,
It's crazy how much they continue. This show's crazy. Like this connection here is, you're right. It's like it's important later on. You know what I mean? Like and it starts here in the second episode. It's cool.
I've done some things I'm not proud of. I still have nightmares about the raids on the Harrow Outpost.
What was the second episode of TNG?
But at least I was sure what I was doing then. I'm doing like Odo's voice here. What am I?
But he doesn't have this voice yet, Major.
There's something you're not sure of now. I don't know how to... Meaning?
Maybe there's still.
I've never
wars
tried
to be
to do
fought.
Odo. Maybe I should try.
And I'm just making a fool of myself. Don't what I'm doing here.
It's oh no, okay.
People are gonna hate us. They're gonna be like, we didn't want a commentary of you guys reading the lines.
Yeah, I know, but I'll get into some commentary now, if y'all don't mind. I think Odo's voice is a little softer, so I agree.
He changes it. He gets grainy later.
It gets more like I don't know.
Yeah,
okay, I'm not gonna do it. I'm not gonna do it.
Major.
I'm not gonna do it no more.
Major, sometimes I turn into your bra and you don't notice.
You don't have to scream into the mic, dude.
Major, sometimes I morph into your bra.
Okay,
and you don't. No, I'm
come
just
on, no.
He could though. That's gross, but he could.
We're only on the third episode. It's all going down to hell, man. Right down to hell, never come back.
It'll come back. What goes down must come up.
The devil's like, we got you.
The devil.
We got you. We're putting filthy thoughts in your mind when you're supposed to be paying attention to this damn Star Trek show. I like that sigh. That was a good sigh, wasn't it, Starfleet Boy? Did you agree with that sigh? Did that sigh satisfy you?
That sigh was perfect.
Odo to Cisco.
Oh,
I love that. He's just like, I'll just do it for you, and she appreciates it.
Mm-hmm.
Nowadays, they'd be like, oh, that man made a decision for that woman against her consent. Cancel Odo. Cancel him.
Look at this,
I will
this
ride up in it here on my high horse.
Look at this suit.
Clunk,
He's
clunk,
actually
clunk.
checking it out.
I know. He's like, I wish it was a zoot suit. He's like, zoot riot, throw back a bottle of beer.
Mm.
Mm. That is not your concern.
My concern. He's great.
Mm.
I forgot this like aspect of Garrick being a spy is that they keep him around because he ends up being like an ally, even if it's dubious. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I mean, well, you have other people with their shops there. It's like, do shops really need to exist?
Outside of
Some
the
people-
Federation, yeah, I guess.
But some people may want clothing that's not just generated. You want like the hand sewn, like something about
like
that.
something tailored,
handcrafted.
yeah. Well, on Earth, there's probably tailors, but again, I don't know how it works. You just walk into a shop and say, "I need a new suit."
Give me a new suit. Here's no money.
I feel like what happens in a resource-rich society is that when you're born, which happens now in a resource-poor society, there's like a value assigned to you. It's just that in the future, in the Federation, the value assigned to every person born in the Federation is like trillions and trillions of dollars, like almost infinitesimal wealth, right? So it's like that's why when they travel outside the Federation, they all have credits and stuff like that. It's because the Federation is so wealthy in a way that every citizen, Switzerland kind of works this way. Every Swiss citizen is like guaranteed a certain amount of like wealth, if you will. And in fact, Switzerland is the first country pushing. They've had it on the vote like every year, and it almost made it.
We're getting into real world politics and stuff. It's like,
No,
come
but
on.
this is not politics. It's just economics, which is they're pushing for to change to a system called universal basic income, where you get a salary just for being a person.
But in 2040, when somebody's listening to this, they'll be like, "That's old news, Starfleet Boy."
Come on,
We've
we
had
won't be
univers-
around.
We
won't be around. Will
We've
we
had
be around in
universal
2040?
income for a long time now.
It's nice.
So this bomb is apparently so powerful. It can like
Destroy the
span
wormhole.
sectors.
Yeah.
And destroy the wormhole. It's all right, they're my friends.
Look at that. It's cool that I guess Generations hadn't come out yet.
Do you know? Do you notice?
Duh.
Do you notice in Star Trek in the 90s, a lot of the guest roles were. I'm not talking about like white people and all this, but it was a lot of like very plain looking white dudes.
Yeah.
And they all kind of blend together. And, some exceptions with the Okana, outrageous Okana, who's very, Billy Campbell or whatever.
I don't have that
he
perspective.
stood out, but a lot of them just kind of just blend together.
I honestly don't have that perspective because since I'm brown, like white people are exotic to me, if that makes any sense.
They all look the same to me, dude.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like to you, they all look the same, but to me, every white person's like, wow, that person looks different from me. You know what I mean? Like if that makes
what I just said
sense.
out of context would sound so bad.
Yeah, it's true.
Ganges,
Yeah, I never
love
thought
name.
that. To me,
Hey,
y'all.
let's go to the Ganges.
To me, white people are exotic. Isn't that weird?
Yeah, I guess. I don't know.
Although, I
Um,
admit you're absolutely
I'm
100% objectively correct in the sense that like no, there's mostly white dudes, male dudes on TV in the 90s. So
and it's not only that they all have that kind of like 90s kind of hairstyle,
yeah.
and like they don't switch it up, but like he's so generic, this guy. And I'm not trying to diss the actor or anything. I'm just saying like
In
he's an
photography,
obvious villain, and
we use an expression called generic beauty, which is actually meant as a compliment, but it sounds bad. The compliment is that like when you tell someone, like when you're shooting like clothing or whatever, you want someone who has a generic good looks because you want them to appeal to the most people.
to make the point a little more clear, it's like a lot of the dudes, and it was a lot of in California, they would get dudes who were like on soap operas and stuff.
Oh yeah, this guy was definitely probably on soap operas. I don't know this actor. He looks familiar. Like I've seen him on a lot of stuff. Was he on Seventh Heaven? No, that was that other guy.
I don't know.
A bilitrium explosive device. This is where his true dickishness comes out.
Why didn't they like this? Why didn't they make this terrible villain person more charming and likable? I was totally falling for it at first, and then he turns out to be right. Goldenar's like, I love this. He's about to give him a "I told you so." I think he's like, "I told you this was not going to work out," and Cisco's like, hangs up. There it is. He's like, "No, I don't want to hear it. I'm under enough stress as it is."
It's up to Kira, man. Come on. This is pivotal because it really restores his trust in Kira, right? What's about to happen? Am I giving spoilers? Should I not give spoilers? You should have already watched this episode if you're watching a commentary.
He's so like there's no room for redemption.
Mm-hmm.
Just collapses.
Mm-hmm. That's not true. This guy's so delusional.
Yeah, it's like completely. He's an idiot. He's
Total idiot. Like the wormhole wasn't even known, and the Cardassian. You know, there's other things, resources, and all kinds of stuff.
his plan is a little flawed. Yeah,
Yeah.
or his objective.
Whoa.
But they try to make it like a twist, like, oh, you're not out to kill people on this. Was that what she thought, that he was gonna?
Yeah, that she thought he was gonna hurt the station. Uh-oh.
I mean,
What is that? Why'd you have to slide that thing to get to that button? That's interesting. Oh shit. That's the model runabout I have with the little gun array at the top. I have that Eagle Moss.
damn you to Stovecore. And you know what they did to Picard.
O'Brien's like, wow.
But you know, O'Brien mentioned earlier about like you wouldn't want to hand him over.
Right.
He's not gonna
You
have
don't
a good
wanna-
time with those guys because he knew, like, he was there. He was on the Enterprise D when Picard was after Picard
was tortured. Yeah. Well, and O'Brien fought in the war.
Oh yeah, too. Yeah, well,
That's
obviously.
right. Yeah.
I forgot about that. But
With Pressman.
he knows about the
No,
Cardassians.
not Admiral Pressman. Not Captain Pressman. Captain something. I forget what the name of his captain was.
I think it was Captain something or other.
Traitor.
See, he's oh god, I
He's
hate
a
him.
fucker. I hate him too.
And she's
We
just
did-
crushed. She just stuck her neck out.
Yeah. By the way, we did miss the iconic scene where he yells at her. We were talking over it, but that's fine. Audience, everyone knows
Yeah,
about
you were
it.
talking about Swedish rubles or something.
No, it was way back. It was further back.
I don't understand world currency. Swedish rubles.
Rubles, I know. That was great, PJ. Thank you, sir. Are we watching the credits?
Yes, we have to stay for the whole thing. Just in silence. Okay, this is the sped up version.
Oh, real quick, since you're still recording, audience, please don't forget to subscribe, like, and share this video, and let us know what you think in the comments. I don't do that nearly enough, but you're supposed to do that. YouTube loves it.
That's like a little script thing. It's like,
Yeah.
like, subscribe, and leave a
And
comment
Comment below.
below.
Let us know what you think of this new show. I'm so weirded out by it. It's so not Next Generation, bruh.
Yeah, it's weird. Why are they in a space station?
Yeah, I don't get it.
All right. Thank you for joining me, Starfleet.
Oh,
Boy,
real
for-
quick before you go, speaking of Space Station, second episode, they have runabouts, so you know they can go do fun stuff outside the space station. All right, thank you. Now that's all I got it in there.
Cool.